It was December 2017 when me and Hanka-chan, now aka Mrs. Raincloud, visited Yokosuka, which according to our friend Shinpei is pronounced by locals Yokosuka, in order to do kind of a pilgrimage to that area where Shenmue 1 was located. And I honestly planned to make a video of all that footage very soon afterwards to try and cash in on the whole Shenmue 3 craze and make my video on my channel a viral, sensational thing. And a lot of things happened in between. I got a new job, me and Hanka-chan got married, we moved to a whole new country, new city, new country. And so I haven't made the video. And now it's November the 9th, Saturday, and it's only 10 days until Shenmue 3 is released. So I figure it's finally time to stamp down on this and make the video. So right now it's 12:21. I will be here for the next hour or so. Then we're going to head on back to our home and I'm going to make this video. It's not going to be the fancy kind of thing that I was imagining, splitting kind of video game footage, real life footage, because I'm just never going to make that video. We're just going to put the footage in some kind of order and give it to you so you can see how Yokosuka looks in the present day. So I'll cut it short here, we'll get straight to Yokosuka. Before we start though, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Quackerjack, who is an awesome young gamer and part of a new generation of Shenmue fans. Enjoy! get to talk to the old people and ask them some questions. I forget their names, but that's the basic idea. It's pretty interesting here so far. It's just like the game. We had a bit of trouble finding this place. There was a no entry sign, which is much like the game, out of bounds kind of area. We're now going to take a look around Sakuragaoka and then make our way, after some lunch, towards Dobuita Street. Whee! So as you can see, this says off limits to USFJ. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm guessing it's military related. We've already seen some military around here, and I read that they're not always so welcome in certain areas. It also said that for the park we just visited a moment ago. As you can see, this is really very much like how Sakuragaoka is in the game. Residential area, narrow winding streets, high walls. I mean, it was perfect for kind of channeling you as a player of the game along predetermined paths. You see people's names in kanji on the doorways around here. This looks like a private residence, so maybe won't go in too far. This could well be the Hazuki residence. Wow, fantastic. There's even building work going on down that end. Maybe you can't quite see Dobuita Dori. There it is. Dobuita Street. So we're looking down on Dobuita Street now, and this is one of the routes you can go back to Sakuragaoka. Here is where you wouldn't normally be able to see in the game, because that zone would cut out. And now we're going to try and find the shrine where Ryo meets the cat and the little girl, Megumi, I think her name was, and you get to decide the name and feed it and what have you. So I think the park is up here, and we'll see about finding the shrine. Tried to take a crap on me. That was a crow, my also enemy, right here. Mother. Alright, let's keep going. Right there, man.
ってない。
So this is the bus stop that you would take to go to the docks where Ryo has a job. It does take much longer than 2 minutes to go there. As you can see, this bus stop is a bit further away from Dobuita Street than in the game. But again, I guess creative license, streamlining things. In reality, it is possible to cross this road, and over in that direction is the US Naval Base. I can't help but think that Snack Tom's reminds me very much of, was it Snack Linda? I think? Tom Jack's Bar. It's closed right now, 5 PM to 3 AM. Now if I was, if this was Shenmue 2, we could just fast forward time until 5 PM, but it's not and we can't. Housing agency, got a lot of tower blocks around here now. And we're pretty much getting to the end of Dobuita Street. Still no sign of the game centre, that's really sad. I mean, a lot of things have closed down, certainly since '86, and indeed since Shenmue came out in '99. And interestingly, we are now further ahead in time from the release of Shenmue than Shenmue was from its period setting. Yikes, that's over half my life ago. And that's the end of Dobuita Street. No game centre that I can see. Interesting place, filled with secrets. So this is kind of the wider context of Dobuita. And we're now gonna take a stroll over to the harbour. It's all, as you'd expect, a bit more disconnected than it is in the game. But over here we can see very beautiful Yokosuka harbour. And there's a game centre by the way, but it's not on the street, so I'm not going to bother going inside. And way over there, there's the warehouses, which we'll try and get to in a second. Looks nice. As you see, it's starting to get dark. Hopefully we'll get that iconic Shenmue 7 PM music kicking in soon enough. Let's go. which is not exactly the tunnel, but your Ranks' motorbike along to get Nozomi, but it is a tunnel. That's for sure. So I just wanted to reflect on the day's events while they're still fresh in my mind. This is now the evening of the visit to Yokosuka. And interesting stuff, very interesting stuff. I guess the biggest difference is, in terms of being physically in that place, is that in the game it's kind of curving round, not a U-shape as such, but it definitely curves around the streets. And the real one is quite a straight line, so I'm sure there were game design reasons for that. But I think I understand now much more clearly why Yokosuka chose this location for the game. We were checking out his background just now, and he's not from Yokosuka, he's from Iwate, and went to university in a place near Hiroshima. So no obvious personal connection, and it really is quite a random place to have a game. It's certainly not a part of Tokyo, it's much more almost countryside-ish, albeit with a busy main street. But what you realise when you go there is that the whole Sakuragaoka area of those hills and the playgrounds and all that stuff is very, very Japanese. So that was an opportunity, having the game there, to really present a Japanese story steeped in kind of Japanese traditions, which I found very interesting playing it as a non-Japanese gamer back in the day. But then it's completely then juxtaposed with this really international setting, and specifically with the Navy and Chinese sort of cultural presence as well. So there's an opportunity to have a much more international setting for the game too, which, as we know, pays off in Shenmue 2. So I guess maybe that was obvious, but to me I didn't really realise it as much, how much of a contrast there is between the Sakuragaoka area and the Dobuita Street area until today. So that was pretty interesting. And I gotta say, I think my favourite area today was the Sakuragaoka area. Partly because it was just fun to be around, like the steep winding steps and the playground. We looked up what those signs meant. USFJ is United States something. But basically it's military, so banning US military presence from certain parts of the area, which is really interesting. So just being there was kind of cool. But also, I guess that area just hasn't changed a whole lot, perhaps, since the game was supposed to be set. Whereas Dobuita Street, it is quite different to what you play in the game. So I think anyone who's in this area, Shenmue fans, definitely wants to visit. Really interesting stuff. And my one regret is that we didn't talk to anybody today. To be honest, I was a bit freaked out by the one person we did interact with in the jacket shop. Was quite intimidating. So I was a bit gun shy after that, but maybe one day we'll come back and get in people's faces a bit more. Anyway, so that's that. Thanks very much to Hunker-chan for today's camera work. I think fantastic job all round. I'll see you guys on the flip side.